Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you. Please kindly type in chat. Can you hear me? How good? How well? And so on. Please kindly type if you can hear me well enough. Hello, anybody? Can you hear me? Please let me know. I see there are two people in the chat. Possibly one of those people is me. So somebody should hear me now. Who are you? Good. Thank you, Bushra. Perfect. So you can hear me? Hello, guys. Today our next one more attempt to provide the fifth session of our course, A Chance to Update, long-term training course. And today's session dedicated to actually logistic and tips and tricks, like hidden tips and tricks of organizing an international event. Well, hope everything will be okay. So previous session also started in a good way and everybody was fine, but then in 5 minutes, like I totally lost the connection. Good. Thank you very much, Irini. Perfect. So yeah, we have 7 more minutes. We'll start in 7 minutes. So you're absolutely welcome to take your time, prepare your tea, coffee, or whatever, or juice, water, milk, warm milk with honey and cinnamon. My lovely, yeah. And that's it. So see you in 7 minutes. I will stay online. So if somebody see this recording, you're welcome just to scroll next 7 minutes to see the start of the session. Hello guys, we are starting in half minute approximately. So come closer, prepare, and prepare your questions too. Hello, Aura. Hello guys, hello everybody. Nice to see you. Well, yeah, we're starting right now. So this is a great point to start because it's 5.00.00. We'll discuss the time management and time perception of participants. So I'm trying to be exactly in time. Hello everybody, I'm really happy to see you, and possibly you see this in recording from YouTube, possibly you are live right now in this broadcast. And so hi everybody, my name is Aliaksej, and this is a 5th session of long-term training course, a chance to update that made for us to share the knowledge on how to organize, how to provide the youth work in different scales. Today we have very interesting topic. The topic is tips and tricks to organize an international event. So any kind of youth exchanges, training courses, seminars, different strategic partnership meetings, and so on. So we'll discuss some details. Very important thing, guys, I'm not good in writing papers. I told you already, yes? I'm good in a little bit organizing, a little bit in solving problem, and very much good in working with groups and training people. So yeah, that's my main direction as a trainer of trainers. But I just had some experience, so I will not give you an answer about how to draw specific application. By the way, let's start actually from this. Okay, like I'm coming to no more spoilers. A little bit about the program today. Of course, the program lies also in our Google document, chance to update course plan. I see somebody already visiting it and watching, looking at this plan too, together with me. And today we start talking about the course program. Actually, before the course program, I will start some introduction about some papers, documents, how to draw application. I mean, I will explain what I'm not going to tell you. Then again, I will say a bit about application, how to get a group and participant, where to find them, how to make visas, preparation to the visit, international visit, travel itself, different local events like dinner out, who are Erasmus Plus travelers, how to work with food, rules of behavior, presentation of the organization, intercultural evening, and some coronavirus issues too. So it's kind of short, brief, agenda of today's meeting. And yes, let's start with the papers. So as usually, guys, you know, yes, if you have any question, put the question into the chat by typing it. Or if you think your question is really important, then of course put many attention marks near this question. One more thing, dear friends, in our Facebook group, I've just created the topic dedicated to the tips and tricks, documents, papers on how to draw your application, how to apply for course, how to fill the application form, and so on. So you are welcome. If you have some good tips, descriptions, blogs, vlogs, anything you think you need to share, you're absolutely welcome to add links or just copy paste the information into this topic in our chat dedicated to those project documentation. And one more thing, Sami Soryanen, our good friend and participant of this course, shared very interesting vlog where my colleagues shared some tale about some differences between different types, specific types of Erasmus Plus international events. So later on, you're absolutely welcome to check to find everything on our Facebook group, and of course watch, learn, and of course share the information you have. Good. The application, the donor, who will pay for your course. So by the way, I will try to be more general. So I'm talking about you, dear friends, both as participants of any kind of international educational, international non-formal educational events like Erasmus Plus training course, Erasmus Plus seminar, Erasmus Plus youth exchange, or any other event. So, and also I'm going to tell about you as the host, the organizer of this event, the one who provides this event. So I will not split any specific differences between, so questions I'm going to cover goes and worries both organizers, the hosting organization and the participating organization and participants. So in general, there is European Union and let's say rest of world, kind of very approximation. In European Union, there is the Erasmus Plus program, and in the European Union and in all the rest of the world, there are some other donors. So some organizations, foundations that provide your money for organizing any kind of activity, educational activity. It might be even Bill Gates and I don't know, Belinda possibly Gates, so his wife, Bill Gates and Belinda Gates Foundation, or MacArthur Foundation, United States. In China, there are some specific foundations. Usually some foundations work with different countries, not only this specific country. And there are, of course, some foundations, some funds that works in your specific country. Wherever are you from India, from, I don't know, Cambodia, from anywhere, from Vietnam, from Europe, of course. For majority of us, European Erasmus Plus program is kind of very famous. By the way, Erasmus Plus is only one of Erasmus programs, like Erasmus Plus, Erasmus for young entrepreneurs, and many other programs in the European Commission pool of programs. So Erasmus Plus is not everything. So you're welcome to Google it, learn it, read about it. Google will help you. So remember, the world is really big, and surprisingly, in this world, there are many people who will be gladly give you money, but remember, only if you promise and successfully will provide the positive changes in the society. So find your way. We talked about it on our very first second session, this basics of youth work. Think about how can you change the society in your place in a better way. Find the sponsor, read the rules of sponsor, and send the application. If your sponsor is Erasmus Plus program, who will give you the money, the budget, then you have this Erasmus Plus project guide. I posted into the Facebook group on Wednesday, 2 days ago. Yeah, we have a comment. Ethic Banks has some financial programs. Yes, thank you very much, Bruno. Yeah, perfect. So I post Erasmus Plus project guide, program guide. And guys, if you plan to work with Erasmus Plus, open this program guide and start reading it from the very beginning. Start with index and then page by page. You can start with like most interesting chapters. You can go just page by page. All the questions about paperwork are there. For other donors, they have their own paperwork, their own descriptions, their own applications, forms, their own tools and sets of advices how to fill this application forms. So technically, the paperwork applications, that is something that I'm not going to tell, because like every country has its own details. Like in every country, even within Erasmus Plus program, within every country, there are specific limits for the prices for board and lodging. I mean, food, the accommodation for participants. Like if you go possibly to Romania, or if you go to Denmark or Luxembourg, you have very different prices. So in Luxembourg, you can pay much more money per one person for the accommodation. And anyway, possibly you can get worse conditions in Luxembourg or Denmark because the prices are really high. And for those bigger money in Luxembourg, in Denmark, you can get not so good conditions as you can get in, I don't know, possibly Romania or Moldova, that as far as I heard, has smaller money limits for board and lodging. But anyway, for this smaller money, you can get much better conditions, much better food sometimes. So it depends. And price for trainers are really different in different countries. Yeah, that's it. But for all those sponsors, you definitely need to prepare the course program. Full description of your training course you are going to implement, with name of sessions one by one and with descriptions of the sessions. If you had never heard about creation those course programs, I would recommend you some very, very basic ideas. So remember, the thing I tell you now in next few minutes is not something really good, but something that you can use if you don't know the better way. So I recommend you 1.5 hour sessions, approximately 4 1.5 hour sessions per day. You can start at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or 9:30. I recommend you approximately 30 minutes breaks between those sessions. So normally it's pretty okay if you, for example, start first session at 10 o'clock, second session at 12 o'clock, lunchtime, big break, approximately 1.5 hours. So third session possibly can start at 3 o'clock. O'clock, 3:00 local time. Not specific from Greenwich Meridian time or Central Europe, no, local time where you're going to provide. And possibly 17 o'clock. So it is pretty normal. Every session might be, if you wish, also divided into halves, but it's not necessary, like big, so it's easier to work with like big pieces. Good. Normally, it's okay to create kind of table with those sessions and with topics, descriptions, and so on. For Erasmus Plus, you also have to provide specific, pretty long like list of full descriptions of what is going on. While creating this program, one tip for you guys from my side. Do we have any questions? Anything? No? Yes. Good. Your idea of international event, your topic, imagine your topic. So the topic can be very different, like outdoor education into the caves, like somewhere in the caves of Transylvania mountains in Romania, or I don't know, learning the how to sail the boat and how to like build a team of mariners if you like sail the Mediterranean Sea in Portugal, or let's say something like learning how to establish peace in conflict area, and you can gather somewhere in a very peaceful area in Switzerland, or vice versa. You can go to Nagorno-Karabakh region or Transnistria region and to discuss some political questions about like Russia influence and fake news and so on and so forth. Yeah, so very different topic. So this is your topic, or maybe the topic is just like usage of Counter-Strike video game for the benefits of digitalization of youth work and like for benefits of like youth work in your location. So different topics. And according to the topic, I recommend you to find some set of values. Value 2, value 3. So some values, like international values or values of your sponsor, Erasmus Plus. Some specific values, for example, of non-formal education and non-formal youth work. Very good example of values are the goals of sustainability. How many of them are 23, 27? Actually, I don't remember how many goals, or 19. So the goals of sustainability, you can just Google the goals of sustainability. Please, anybody who remember how many current goals of sustainability by United Nations, could you please post it into the chat? Thank you very much. So some values to reach, some values to respect, some values that the sponsor you're going to apply to respect. And very important, you should find the link between your topic and the values. This is very important for your application. Okay, later on we will talk a bit, we'll have a session about the basic of project management in general. Yeah, hello, Ramina. So to make your sponsor respect your application, to like rise the probability for a sponsor to accept your application. 17, thank you very much. Thank you, Bruna. 17 sustainability development goals of United Nations. Yeah, so it's kind of one of examples. Doesn't mean so those 17 goals will like everything you need. No, there are much more different recommendations about values, about competences to develop, about goal aims, about missions, and so on. So you need to find link. What does it mean, link? It means how will your topic fulfill those goals, groups of people, maybe people with disabilities, maybe like transgender people or anything else. So find several ways to explain how exactly you, doing the exchange of your topic, will reach those values, will fulfill those values, will make those goals true. Do you have any big can you use values from other organizations as the European Council? Yes, possibly, but remember that every sponsor has its own goals and values. So it's better to read the description specifically of your sponsor and make sure that the goals that you use and values that you use like to reach, to fulfill, are really correspond and comply with the values of your sponsor. Human rights might be a great idea, yes, absolutely. Human rights is kind of one of very popular, important goals. And in general, 17, for example, sustainable development goals, they're very general, and half of them doesn't fit you and your environment. Something like water in Africa and so on. So possibly half of you have never heard about the problem of water in Africa, or maybe heard but never perceived it as your problem. But maybe for half of you it is a problem. Maybe you work with it. Maybe please, if there's somebody who have personal experience of working with the question of like water availability, not only in Africa, water availability for people, could you please put plus in our chat? We can check. Do we have the people who just work with this goal of sustainability? So to finalize, not telling not too lot of words, find the link and explanation and justification how you, doing the international event of your topic, of your theme, will reach the goal, respect the values, and fulfill some kind of goals, aims of your sponsor. So imagine the sponsor provide money to the person who like do activity to reach the goals of the sponsor. It's very logical. If you do not prove that you reach the goals of your sponsor, you will not get money. So just life. That's life. It's from Joker movie, I suppose. Can you combine them? I mean, So with Erasmus Plus values, aka horizontal competencies with the Council of Europe, it goes, well, I'm not sure about the details, but yeah, Bruno answers. By the way, guys, let me please again introduce you, Bruno. He will be our great, awesome trainer for our next session. He prepared a really awesome presentation, and our next session in 1 week, we will define specific day and date, but hopefully it will be normal Wednesday, normal time. Yeah, most likely it will be normal Wednesday, normal time, yeah, without any problems. Actually, Bruno will provide us first half of session, like with any interesting topic. You can find the topic in our course plan. But okay, coming back to, so make this certification as good as possible. But sometimes it is more like, it is better to make it more focused. So not mention all 17 goals of sustainability development goals of United Nations, but maybe only one, or forget about them. So it depends on the sponsor. So I will not tell you like specifically. So yeah, this is about your application, grant application. So coming back to the course program, make sure all this, your topic and values and link and some kind of specific milestones of this link, this connection, what does it mean, milestone? So possibly by your topic you reach some specific preliminary results, and next specific preliminary result 1, result 2, result 3, and finally, bam, you reach the goals, like values, you fulfill the values of your sponsor. So please put those goals, explain how can you reach those goals, fulfill those goals, how can you respect those values into those sessions. If your session is about human rights, and somewhere here should be what is human right, why do we work with human rights? It depends on the level of difficulty. Maybe do we have any pluses? No, unfortunately we have no pluses in our chat, so looks like there is nobody who have an experience of working with like water availability for people. Okay, it happens. So mention how you explain you use some topic, how do you reach some specific preliminary results, result 1, result 2, and finally somewhere in the end provide more practice, and finally somewhere in the end the evaluation, how can we finally reach the final goal of the course. So it should also, I highly recommend it to have it also visible in your course plan you develop. Yeah. Except that I would recommend some pretty typical good examples. Good examples of what to put into this course plan. It depends on the duration, so it can be 10 days, 14 days, sometimes 12 days, 20 days, or 3 days, or 2 days. We have kind of long comment. Please, guys, let us know. Do you have normal connection? Can you see me, or it's only Labolos cannot see me well enough? Please comment. It's a video, so yeah, maybe. So coming back, the very first session pretty often is official session, official opening, and it's kind of pretty good practice to provide the presentation of organization who organize all the event, partnering organizations. So you can invite people from those organizations to make short speeches. And it's a good place to provide some specific rules. We'll talk about rules a little bit later today of the event itself, what is going on, how to work, how to survive in the place where you are. Then normally people start some learning name activities, some kind of ice-breaking activities. Here possibly building activities, sometimes it's a good idea. And in some cases here you can already go into the topic, but also can provide full day only for information. One more thing I forgot to mention, put the arrival day before that. And I highly recommend to plan the introduction dinner at the arrival day, so full day for people to arrive. And don't expect that people arrive before the dinner, because A lot of them will arrive in the middle of the night or early in the morning of already first day, and this is your responsibility to like organize everything, to call to them, to meet them if you host an organization, of course. If you're not, then it's your responsibility to follow any rules to arrive as early as, okay, not as early, like in a little bit convenient time. Yeah, so we see that the video and audio connection is not really well enough, unfortunately, but actually that's the best I can provide you now, guys. So it's much better than it was in the presentation. Yeah, you remember this picture of me. I don't know in which shape. Okay, good. So arrival day, first day, official introduction, possible introduction of all participants if you wish. So it's on normally the one important thing, when you have your external trainer, you don't need to think about it. This should be the responsibility of trainer. Of course, you're responsible to have this program comply to this link between your topic and the values. So the program should comply to the topic, comply to values and competences your sponsor want to develop and pay for development. But if you have any like trainer you pay for providing this session, please delegate it to trainer. It's his problem, his headache, or like paying this, it's up to you. And if the trainer has enough qualification, he will provide the session pretty, all the course pretty fast with all the descriptions, with everything. If not, if you do it by yourself, then this is your job. Go on. So it's a dirty job, but someone got to do it. But normally for normal person without a big experience, it's not more than 1 to 2 work days to prepare this full program, course program. I think so. Could you please put your experience, guys, if you have developed the full course program, how much times or maybe work days have you spent for full development together with detailed description, together with this table and so on? Please share your experience. How was it in your case? We are waiting for your answers. Thank you very much. And second day, third day, day number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you just provide those exercises, activities, teach, propose any facilitation, like discussions, group working, use different tools, education. 2 months full time. Wow, great. That's really a lot of time, I suppose. Okay, it's okay. It happens. Okay, good. Please also, guys, share how much time did it take you. But remember, pay attention. I ask you to answer how much time did you develop specifically the course program. The program of your international event. Not all the event itself, the application, the budget, the renting cars, buses, hotels, catering, and so on. But only the program. How much time did you spend to prepare only the program? K1 open. Okay, I see. Good. At the final day, okay, there is a final day of the activity and there is a departure day. On the departure day, I highly recommend also to have the breakfast and to prepare the breakfast. If you have enough money, of course, it's a good idea to prepare any kind of lunch for people who leave late a little bit. But typically, from my experience, there is only breakfast and everything else is just for participants. It's their responsibility. And the breakfast might be also equipped with sandwiches to give away for people because they possibly have a long way or they like to spend 2 more days in the location to explore the location. Oh, we have some comments. Everything, the program, application, budget. Okay, so it was 2 months for everything, transport and so on. Okay, interrupt the sound. 14 days get hit with, and okay, yeah. So you see, program 14 days, 2 weeks for program because great idea. Yeah, so thank you for this clarification. You send the program to your partners and they propose any kind of corrections, additions, and so on. By the way, talking about tools, let me please put it into the comment right now. I recommend you to use the tool I usually use, the Google Sheet. when you can create this sheet with the program, and you can give your partners right to, for example, comment this Google Sheet, and they can put their comments, and they can, yes, I will put it into comments, so Google Sheet. Not sheet, but sheet, please pay attention. So they can real-time work on the same document with you and provide any corrections, additions, and so on, and so you can accept it, discuss, and so on. So it might make the work faster, because there are sometimes problems like you send an updated program to your partner and you wait for 2 days, checking your mail every 5 minutes, waiting the reply from the partner, and they're just busy with their own other project, and they cannot have a look and answer, like reply short email with their new ideas about this program. So give yourself more time for preparation. What do we have? 14 days. How many people you collaborate? But usually for me, 1-2 weeks. Thank you, Bruno. After this is months of preparation, for sure. Google Sheet is used as you can connect to the Google Drive. Yes, John, absolutely agree with you. Good. So that's it. Yeah. I'm not sure I should mention it right now, but yeah. Once we're already talking about the time, this is time. This is a place when you, for example, apply for a budget for money, like send the application, any kind of application deadline, and you send your application 2 hours before the deadline time. Like you worked 2 weeks hardly, and 2 full days, 24 hours per day, like without sleeping, to finish this application. You send it. I recommend you to have approximately 6 months between your not even the deadline. Okay, let's say deadline, but at least 6 months. Better to have more time between your deadline and the beginning of your activities, beginning of your project. And within your project, there is specific time for activity, like the training course. Before that, there is preparation phase. After that, there is kind of reporting phase. So give yourself as much time as possible. As far as I remember, in Erasmus Plus, the maximum time to finish the activity is something like 1.5 year. Please correct me, somebody who knows the paperwork better than me. Thank you very much. So give yourself more time, because it's really easy to waste time and lose time. It is really hard to get in time when you have not enough time. So if you can make it with bigger time gap between deadline and current position and time, do it. It is important. Good. So course program as a table, course program as a list with direct precise description, detailed description. For the description, you should mention some specific tools, games, activities you're going to provide. For that, Google youth work activities, tools, games, and so on. Find different ones, and yes, I mean, in a case if you don't know what to put into this detailed description, just Google, read, evaluate how good is it, and put. Possibly later you can replace it with another one, but for now you need to have any specific plan, at least. Good. 1, 2, 3. Session lab. Thank you very much, Bruno. So guys, if you have any ideas about any good tools, websites with again, with tools, with games, with anything, please go to our Facebook group. There is this new topic with stupid picture topic that calls the tools and materials and blah blah blah. There is an article of text, small text. Could you please just comment there with like your proposals on what can help to young workers in their preparation? Let me think. Okay, that's generally it. Okay, yes, not generally it. In general information, the last work day of the activity before the departure day is normally the day dedicated to evaluation, like feedback, debriefing, and so on. Okay, I need to mention also those reflection groups. Okay, reflection group, I will. So on the last day, you possibly provide any kind of demonstration if you have it. So it's a pretty good idea on previous day to give space for your youngsters, your participants, let's say, participants to prepare their own plans. What will they do? How can they implement everything? So here they work, they explore something, learn many days. I don't know how many days, 14 days, 5 days, 7 days, and finally they put it. Do you remember our previous sessions when I told you about the filter of past, present, and future? So how can they filter the information via their future? How can they implement the new information got from you into their future activity? What can they plan as their future activity based on information they got from your course? How can they implement? How can they utilize the information? How useful is it for the society? And one more thing, based on the plans, they also provide the dissemination plans. How can they disseminate, multiply the results? How can they go home and implement the results from your course into their location to make the impact on the society even bigger? Not only 10 people came, had a party every evening, drank all the alcohol from different countries, visited all local disco parties, had some sex with local ladies, young ladies, maybe not, spent half of time on the sea, just swimming in the sea, and got back. It is possible, but do you really think somebody will pay for that? Well, it happens. Yeah, I know it happens because I participated in such event once. But I prefer events where they can come back home and just start working on new level. You feel you're leveled up. So update yourself. That's the name of our course, a chance to update. So every course you visit should be your chance to update yourself. Guys, I highly recommend you to spend time updating yourself instead of spending time just relaxing. And yeah, you have any website? 6 months between application and training. Between application and the beginning of first preparational activities, I would say, I recommend to have at least 6 months between those. If you have no, it's not a big problem. I mean, possibly you can survive, but it's just the main idea of my recommendation is to have plan having more time than you need, than you think you need. Once again, please prepare and book for your activity, for your preparational activities, more time than you think you need. The less experience you have, the more time book for yourself, the more extra time book for yourself, okay? That's my issue. When you have experience of providing at least 10 to 20 international exchanges as a host, you don't need this extra time. You already know how many problems, errors, mistakes, failures appears, so you know how much time do you need to solve everything. You know your personal workability and so on. But if you just start, give yourself as much time as possible. That's my input, main input. So I just 6 months is just to have any number in your head. If I say take a lot of time, for some people 2 hours is a lot of time. For some people 2 years is a lot of time. Yeah? So that's it. What did I talk about? What did I talk about? About dissemination plan. That's good. And final day. Kind of evaluation. Fill in some specific official evaluation forms. Possibly the sponsor, you have the donors, you have their own evaluation form to give every participant to feel like how good was this project, how good was this activity. Give at least 1 hour to fill this evaluation forms. Please gather beautiful evaluation, use some specific evaluation techniques, evaluation tools. You can just, again, Google tools for evaluation of non-formal education activities or just educational activities. There are plenty of them. You can find them. And I recommend you, I call it the time of tears. Bruno knows about it, about this, my word, the day of tears. This is, I usually call this a day of tears. And this time is a final session time. Normally it's time for packing bags. For some people already time to go to the report because somebody possibly leaves this time or in the night. So young people participating in those activities, especially not a lot of experience in those activities, they like to exchange contacts, they like to write emails, any kind of take emails, write some kind of notes, text letters, and so on. So give them some time to communicate. It's a great idea to have time. Of course, if you have not enough big time slots before, after, and so on. Yes. One more thing I would like to mention is a reflection group activity, some kind of briefing activity. So at the end of each day, I recommend you the reflection session, approximately half an hour normally, so you can make it bigger or shorter if you know why, if you know the reason to make it bigger or shorter. If you don't know, then use this half an hour slot, I recommend. Again, you can Google how to provide reflection session for non-formal education or something like that, and you can find some pretty good tools like draw a palm on the paper, or I don't know, answer some just questions. How good was day? What did I learn? What I'm going to implement? What will I implement in a year? What will I implement in 10 years, and so on. So reflection, and use different types for reflection. So again, I can tell for hours about just reflection activities, so please stop me at that moment. Any questions so far? After the month's preparation, website, good session lab. The next submission date is early October 2020. Thank you very much, Jan Dorens. Yeah, so good. It's Jan, is it for Erasmus Plus? Please clarify, because we're talking not only about Erasmus Plus, we're talking about different scale of different sponsors. Good, and I'm waiting for Jan's answer, Jan's reply. John or Jan, I'm not sure again, guys. Sorry, I'm not sure how to call some of your names. I'm really sorry. Yes, Erasmus Plus, thank you very much. Good. So this is about your course plan. What do we have in our course plan and session plan? Course program, application, group, visas. Good. So that's it. Imagine that you filled the program, and also you found scanned and read from beginning till the end the Erasmus Plus project program guide. You know everything, you wrote everything in perfect way. Of course, first couple of 3, 4, 5 first applications will not be accepted, possibly, or maybe you're lucky enough to have first the application accepted and approved and paid by the sponsor. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jan. And imagine we are going to get to your participants. In the case, if you still have your group of participants, you need to find your participants. Possibly you have your organization, possibly not. Let's take the hardest way. If you have no organization, where to recruit participants from? You go to Facebook and you create the announcement. How? Guys, I'm going to create youth exchange. I need like 7 people for this youth exchange. Please join me. We'll spend a great time. So something like that. It's kind of stupid way. I explain this way in a really stupid manner. So of course I can make it in much more like boring and clever way. Anyway, announce it in one specific like target audience, depending on your target audience. Possibly like for example, project that I helped to organize that starts on August 1st and goes till August 30 in Latvia is dedicated to hobby circus and fire show performances. If you scanned my Facebook group, you know that yes, I'm like really keen in fire show and fire performances, and I spent 20 years doing those fire performances. And yes, now I'm looking for people from Poland to participate in this project. By the way, if there is somebody of you from Poland or not only from Poland, just want to participate in short European Solidarity Corps, so voluntary project, so spend all the August in Latvia, working as volunteer, having all your costs paid, I mean accommodation, food, and also having some pocket money, and learning how to provide fire performances and performing on 30th of August, like in 1.5 months. if you think you want it, if you feel right now that you want to join it, please let me know. There is small probability anyway. I possibly can find a place for you. Only one last place is still, we still have only one empty vacant place. So let me know. Yeah, that's true. This, by the way, the thing I've just done is one of ways how to find participants of your project. So it's true. You're welcome to ping me in Facebook and say, hey, I'm from your chance to update course. I want to participate in this project and let's dedicate it to fire show performance. Let me know. If not, forget about it. It's okay. I will find it in, anyway. So announce your activity among some specific audience. If you want young medical specialists like doctors, go to medical university or any kind of medical college. If you need artists, go to artistic college or any kind of the spot of street artists where they come and like provide the activities, provide the art, any kind of artistic street or something like that. If you have any, always you have any specific Facebook groups of your country, of I don't know, skaters or street workouters, or again artists, or I don't know, ecologists, or LGBT plus people, or people with disabilities, and so on and so forth. So go to those places, join those groups, and try to advertise, because normally people who are in those groups need such events like you want to organize. So find your activity participants, and approximately, if you need X participants, I mean X maybe 10, 15 or 3, I recommend you to prepare at least 20% more people as wait list. So when you announce, people start emailing you like, hey, I want to participate, hey, I want to participate, yeah. So you can get 100 emails or hundreds emails, or you can get 3 emails having 3 free spots. So if you have 3 places for people and you have only 3 emails like, I want to participate, make more advertising, work more, find more candidates, because approximately half of them will say, sorry, I changed my mind, I reject, I discard, before you approve them. And approximately, in my experience, 20% of them will say, oh, sorry, I changed my mind, something happened, I broke my leg, broke my nose, so like, I broke anything, I broke the lovely crystal glass of my mom or granny. They will find a reason to discard their participation when you already approve them. So I highly recommend you to have a wait list. The more people in wait list, the better. Like possibly you have 100 applications, you have only like 3 places, so you find 3 best matches, people who match your like profile of participant in best way, and all other people can be put to the wait list. Half of them will say, sorry, I cannot, like in a week. One will say, sorry, I cannot in 1 more week. But later on, we'll have a small pool of people just like to grab from this pool if somebody rejects already during the preparation phase. Do we have any questions? Reflection partner 2, okay? Good. Yes. Let's tell about visa. Guys, if you're Europeans, if you live in European Union, you possibly forget what the visa is. Or possibly no, I don't know. If you don't know what the visa and how difficult is it to get visa, happy you. Like, I'm really happy about you. I'm really glad that you have so happy life. Visa is a big problem. Is when you take your passport, some people in European Union have no passport. They need to apply for passport before getting visa. Only have passports, they can go to embassy of another country, like out of European Union country, and they can put this visa inside the passport. More time, and to get a passport, it can take 1 month. To go to embassy and to like apply for visa, it can take 1 to 2 weeks, and then to wait for visa, it can take about 1 month. You see, 2.5 months just to get the visa for the person who have no passport. So this is a problem. Please put more time, explore it as precise as possible. How easy for those people to get a visa? Sometimes to get a visa, they need, the embassy need the confirmation that there is an organization that really going to provide the specific like event, and those people are welcomed and invited. So I recommend to put, if possible, it's not always possible, put those waitlist people into this invitation. Invitation should be technically provided by the organization from the country which visa you should apply for. So if you go from outside of European Union into European Union, so for example, you go to, I don't know, let's say Italian, like Italy as a hosting country. So you go to Italian embassy in your local country, wherever you are, and you need the Italian invitation. I recommend on Italian language and English language, so translation too. Original sometimes, so not just scanned copy or picture. Sometimes you need to wait 2 more weeks when this invitation comes to your post box. You need to bring this invitation to the embassy to show your passport and to get the Italian passport in the case if it's okay, like if you have all the documents in a good way, prepared in a good way. Let me please read. You have experience of sending emails with calls for application to participants of previous project as a way to find participants. Okay, next question. I would say that is not the best approach. Ideally, we want new participants for activities also with regard to equal chances of participation. So I agree with Ira's concern. It is always better to provide new people, to teach new people, to prepare new people, because it's kind of provide better. Well, I will tell about project travelers a little bit later. Yes, one more reason I will explain later. But if you have big gaps, there are sometimes kind of urgent calls. If you have an urgent call, like something like you prepared people, but one of them, okay, two of them left, like one broke his leg or something like that. You have the urgent call to put somebody here just to have the project alive. It happens, guys. So in that case, you can use all your pool of partners, of people you personally know, and like find those people, email them, and find possibly people with visas. By the way, here's one more trick, dear friends. One more trick. If here in the pool of applications of like people who want to participate in your call, there are some people already with visas, with open visas that will be actual during the activity, so they don't need to go to embassy to apply for visa. The trick recommends to sometimes leave those people in the wait list. So if you spend 2 months to open visa for 3 main participants, and 1 or 2 of them will get will have no visa, so the embassy will say like not decline the visa, decline giving the visa. You will just invite people with visa already on their places, and you don't need to provide those 2.5 months of visa preparation again. You see, this preparation time should include, technically, this preparation time should include not only those approximately 2.5 months for main participants group to open a visa, but additional 2.5 months for the waitlist participants to open a visa. So technically, I mean, it's a good idea to have this time. That is why if you have in a waitlist somebody with a visa, it can save your project sometimes. Well, that's it. It was just a short trick, practical trick. People you know, people you wait, good visa. Okay, let's imagine you apply for visa. Visa applications are like big problem, bureaucracy problem in every country. So explore the websites or just go to specific companies, pay to those companies so they will explore the website, or they already know this information. They will organize all this like visa procedure and provide your participant with visas. Original invitation from the hosting organization, enough time, remember that sometimes your participants have expired passports. So passport is okay, but here you have your activity time, so your week of youth exchange or training course, and the passport expires approximately 1 week after, just 1 week after. Normally, visa is, let's say more complicated case, the passport expires 1 week after the course, and the participant say, okay, my passport is actual till the end of the activity and till the end of my ticket, so I will come back and my passport is still valid, and okay. No. The embassies prefer to open visa not later than the moment 3 months before the expiration date of passport. So if they have the expiration date of passport like 1 week after the activity, sometimes embassy will give you a visa just like 3 months before the expiration date, till the moment 3 months before the expiration date of passport. So no possibility with this visa to visit the activity. Please remember about such problems, possible problems, and make sure the passports of your participant are like active, actual, at least like 3 months after the activity end, activity final time. Yeah. Whew, good. Visas, participants, waitlist. Hopefully, it was the main thing to discuss. What do we have here? The group, visas, yeah, preparation. Few words about preparation. Guys, please, if you have any questions, post those questions into the chat. And we go in further. How to prepare? Also, imagine that all paperwork is okay. So you, the host, be it you or not you, work on the project, everything is going on, volunteers are running, bringing papers, you signing everything, your accountant distribute money between everything. How to prepare the group of participants? Learning the traveling problems of travels. Possibly there are some flights. Possibly there is change of flight. Possibly there are people who have no experience in international flights. They don't know that it is prohibited to bring those like scissors and knives into check-in. They put those scissors or knives into the chicken luggage, chicken bags. So inform them. Probably the change time, transfer time in the transfer airport is too short. If the group is like new people, young people with not a big experience in traveling, I recommend to find the tickets with at least 2.5 hours for transfer time. Because, for example, if you change your flight somewhere in, let's say, international airport in Frankfurt der Main, or Frankfurt, this big Frankfurt airport in Germany. I don't remember how it's connected with this Main, is the name of River Main. Please help me if you know. Or which airport is also so huge? London International Airport. I forgot the name of this London International Airport. Of course, JF Kennedy Airport in New York. Those airports are even Munich Airport, Munich, yeah. It's huge. It has some trains between specific like terminals. So after flying, you need to find the way to the train, and everything is so messy. You need to find the train. You understand where is the train that goes to correct direction. Possibly you can sit to the train and go to wrong directions, and you need to get back and go again to the right direction even longer. Then after arriving, you again need to find your flight, your gate. So it is so messy for people who are not used to flights, international flight. It can be a problem for people. So please try to book more time. If you can choose the flights with longer transfer time, it's better to sit 2 hours than to get late just one plane. Of course, rules of travels. The preparation, one more thing. Prepare your participation. how will you as a national team participate in this activity? Food, any kind of beverages, any kind of snacks, something very traditional. Think, is there anything traditional in your country that you can bring to this event? Sometimes people like to travel by low-cost airports, not to pay for the luggage, big luggage in the airplane, because it costs in low-cost companies a lot. I mean, the luggage, and you have only check-in luggage, check-in bags, and you are not allowed to bring, for example, cheese. So French people, Italian people, I mean, soft cheese, yeah, possibly hard cheese is allowed. So if you like soft cheese, like those President, Brie, and so on, if you're from France, they will throw it away and you will cry, but they will not allow you to bring this cheese to the airport or to the cabin of the plane. What can you bring? Liquids, never. Yeah, so, you know, very strict limitation. Interesting that in India, sometimes it's allowed to bring big bottles, like 1.5 liter bottles of water to the cabin of the plane. I was really shocked. So it's not everywhere and always, but in some companies in India, it is allowed. Yeah, good. What else? Songs, dances. If you have traditional instrument, great idea. Guys, I love the approach of my friends from one really good Danish organization. They forbid to use video recordings and video, let's say videos, and in general at all presentations during intercultural evenings, during presentation of the countries, because it's so stupid when just you visit youth exchanges or training courses one by one. You meet, for example, I don't know, let's say about myself, Polish groups, and in each Polish group brings the same video from internet, like with 1 million of watches, about like international approachable, beautiful, funny, cool video. But you look at this video for like 10 times and you understand that it's so stupid. Yeah, maybe for some people this video, they see this video for the first time in their life. But if I want to learn something about Aland Islands or Malta or, you know, again China, I just go to YouTube, find the video and watch this video. I'm not here to watch the video. So I agree that it might be a great idea to tell it by your words, to tell your own story. Play music if you can play music, like show the dance if you can show your traditional dance. Choose a simple dance, please. Don't show like professional dance, really complicated and cannot be taught by other people. So how can you present your country? How can you present your organization? Possibly you can prepare some materials, you can spread it. My opinion is that materials are usually just wasted paper, but maybe like at least it creates a feeling that somebody interested in your organization. So think about it. Maybe you like this idea. So I don't like the idea of bringing paper and spreading papers that will go to trash bin very soon. Usually, just in my experience, I find those papers in trash bin very often. Presentation of organization, prepare your group. Sometimes when you just recruit people for your national team, like random people, meet everybody together, provide a meeting and explain which organizations they should belong to. I mean, it's a really good idea for your national group to look like joint organization, like people who belong to one specific team, one specific organization. It is not good for your trainer of this activity, because the trainer should destroy all these local teams and create one team spirit of all the course. So you don't need to create very strong like team spirit and to make everybody like wake up together, go to, I don't know, to shower together, go to swimming pool together, drink together, go to sleep together. No, it's not necessary. But if somebody asks, what organization are you from? It's better if, I mean, in the case, if you participate as the organization in this activity, it's better that every participant of your organization who comes with you, with your group, answers that, yes, I'm from this organization. What does your organization do? My organization does this, that. So yes, we do that way. So inform your group about what the organization does normally, to make them answer on such stupid questions, or what are they? Good. Travel preparation. Looks like that's overall it. Any questions, any concerns, any like doubts? Do you have something? Yeah. If we speak about user change, it definitely helps to keep the group with at least 5+1. So if one pax drops, you still have a group by Erasmus rules. Yep. Thank you very much for this comment, Ira. Great. Good. Let me check. What do we have in our plan? Preparation. Is anything about preparation I wanted to tell but forgot right now? Is anything missing? Let me think a few seconds. Guys, could you please ask something about the preparation of group or about any of topics we already explored? Topics like, we started with course program, by the way, a little bit about application, some details, Erasmus Plus, non-Erasmus Plus, about group preparation, about visas, group creation, group recruiting, visas, about group preparation, and we start to tell about travel. Right now, we slowly go to travel. If you have any questions, please post those questions into the chat, and we go closer to travel. Guys, I highly recommend you to recheck for several times in the web, in different aggregators of travel possibilities, how to get. Because sometimes, in some difficult cases, you need to wake up, you need to go by 2 buses with 1 change to the airport, then fly 2 flights, and from there you should go like 3 hours by train, and then 2 hours by bus again, and then walk for 1 hour to get the venue. So to find, if the venue is cheap, the way to the venue might be really complicated. In cheap venue, you can get like better food and better service accommodation. Sometimes organizers have a possibility to book a shuttle bus that brings you right to the venue. If you get in time to get to this bus, happy you, but remember, planes can get late. Planes can be cancelled. In the planes, your luggage can be lost. Totally or just temporarily, like delayed, as they say. They never say lost, they say delayed. Because, okay, normally they can find this luggage. A small tip, very stupid, very short. For everybody, of you personally, okay, it's very well-known tip, but maybe somebody don't know this tip. When you go to the luggage check-in to the airport, make a picture of your luggage, open suitcase with your travel pass, and closed, of course, to show it at the end. Make it just on your smartphone, because your luggage can get damaged or without some things. So, for example, I had some things from my luggage stolen, actually, in Polish Airlines lot, unfortunately for me. Yeah, so it was really like sad story for me. Actually, I got the return of money of the price of stolen, not all, but just half of price of stolen things. The things were stolen for 100 euros. I got the return of 50 euros. Anyway, I got it. If I got a good photo picture of my suitcase before I started my flight, before my luggage check-in, I would got 100% of the price of stolen things. That's it. So the travel, remember, this travel is exhausting, really exhausting. What will you eat? Sometimes you can eat something in a place if you fly not by low-cost companies. Think about it. Check many times how does those trains works, because this transfer also from plane to your train might be really complicated. You're not in this Paris Charles de Gaulle airport where there's a big airport and a big train station, and you can go from the out from the airport and you see just trains, you can sit and go. It's really not complicated, but really convenient, I would say. But not always it goes this way. Sometimes you need to spend 15 minutes walking different dirty, horrible dungeons to find your train. So try to find blogs about this train, about this transfer to train, about transfer from plane to train, how people explain. Try to find pictures, print those pictures even. Yes, it is not so sustainable, environmentally friendly to print pictures. Yes, we're killing trees. Possibly you can make those pictures, have those pictures on your mobile phone, but in your mobile phone the battery can die and you have no access to those pictures. Possibly you can put those pictures onto the cloud storage somewhere on your on your website, and you can arrive to the place and see there is no Wi-Fi, no internet. In some places there is no Wi-Fi. It is not everywhere, and you have no possibility to. And for example, local internet costs like $10 per 15 minutes, and you not always have those dollars to pay. Or maybe you can pay only in local currency, and there are no exchange offices to exchange your currency into local currency. It happens, of course. It's sounds stupid for Europe, because in Europe mostly all those communications are well prepared, made in really convenient way. But if you go out of the Europe, be ready for some really interesting, shocking experiences, really interesting intercultural experiences. Something doesn't work, something doesn't, some necessary people are just absent, and so on. So check blogs, how it goes, how to change, where to go exactly, make pictures of, possibly print the pictures from Google Maps satellite view. Do you have any? Yeah, Heathrow Airport in London. Thank you very much, Ira. Yeah, that's it, Heathrow Airport. Really huge, one of the most overloaded airports in the world, as far as I remember. But so put more attention to the preparation of how will you travel, all those ways. It is really interesting experience to get lost into the city, but when you got lost at 2 o'clock in very disadvantaged area, and there are 3 young ladies of 17 years old with you, and you see there is a group of local guys who look really criminal, and you don't believe that this place is really friendly. Well, not everybody needs such experience, not everybody needs such adventures. But yeah, great check of your communication skills in that case. Well, preparation, safety, okay. Okay, I plan to tell later a little bit about coronavirus, but yeah, possibly I need to start right here. Coronavirus, guys. Remember, the second wave of coronavirus is approaching. It comes closer. More and more people, the statistic of infected people rises in different countries. So it becomes more and more likely and possible that again some flights will be cancelled. Just keep it in mind. Just keep it in mind while you're booking your flights can help you. Good. Well, is that it? Generally and overall, that's it about the travels I wanted to say. What else? What else? When you are the host, I highly recommend you to book this. Oh my God, where is my head? How does you call those buses that goes? I already said this word. Not charter. Forgot this word. Okay, so just bus to gather people, for example, in the airport. The majority will arrive to the location. 2 buses, one during the day, one during the night. Good. Good. What do we have to discuss even more? Dinner travelers' food rules. Depending on your situation, you can have some specific rules. In one place I have a chance to work at, there was a rule not to put paper into the toilet. In one other place, there was a rule always put the paper into the toilet. It depends on the this sewing system, as I remember, it's called sewing system or something like that. System of toilets. In some places, people should, I don't know, wash specifically their bodies before going to the swimming pool or the sauna. In some places not. Sauna, again, cultural issues. In some places, it is not allowed to go to the sauna with swimming suit. But for some countries, it is absolutely unacceptable to go somewhere without swimming suit, like Muslim countries possibly, yeah? How will you solve it? Sometimes you can split time, like time for people with swimming suits, time for people without swimming suits. Sometimes you can like split people by gender. It's up to you, but you need to think about it. It depends on the situation. It can work well or not enough well in different situations, but you need to think about it. In some cases, like working in Transnistria or Nagorno-Karabakh, it might be just dangerous to go to specific place, like possibly the unofficial front line with any specific military forces of any specific country can be just like behind this front line. And it is practically possible that somebody of your participants will just got lost and cross this front line. And it will bring a huge problem. You possibly remember the story about American student who tried to like put off the poster in North Korea and was arrested and spent, as far as I remember, 1.5 years in prison in North Korea and got back almost dead in a coma to home and died actually, as far as I remember, died in America when he got back. So I really want you not to experience this type of intercultural experience. I mean, those heavy aftermath, heavy like, consequences. But you need to tell about it. Create the rules of behavior, like rules of respecting time, for example. It's some people, and it's a really good idea when the trainer put specific time to create the contract. What does it mean? Like we propose, participants, all the participants of the course propose their own ideas of the rules, how to behave. They possibly discuss shortly something. Make sure you discuss it shortly because it can be discussed during all the day. So discuss rules and have the list of rules everybody agreed to follow. Maybe even it is better to ask everybody to put their names. It mostly works on their mind. So yes, I agree to follow those rules. It wasn't just put by the trainer to the paper. It was me who come and put my name below those rules and confirming that yes, I'm going to follow those rules. Rules to come in time. You see, if you have known these rules, that it is pretty possible that on day 3 people will come to your first morning session 15 minutes later. Day 4, half an hour later. Day 5, 15 minutes later, like hour later. And where is the time to work? I don't know. You are responsible for that. It's your responsibility. Shuttle bus. Thank you very much, Andrew. Shuttle bus. That was the word. Yeah. So yeah, coming back to what. Book the shuttle bus if you can, if you organize it, if you host. Create the list of rules. Ask your participant to sign this list of rules. It's a great idea for all the organization. In any case, you can say, if somebody breaks those rules, you can say, come on, you signed the rule. What's wrong with you? What wrong is happening? So it can be one additional way to influence, like to motivate those people to follow the general rules of the group. Interesting question about alcohol. Yeah, so normally people who come to your place are adult, and there are no like legal way to prohibit alcohol. And people like alcohol sometimes, not everybody, of course. So I recommend you, of course, it depends on the situation. Maybe you provide it in a specific place where the alcohol is totally forbidden. And to drink alcohol, they should go outside somewhere on the streets and drink alcohol in the bar or something like that. It happens, yeah, good. Work with that. But just think about how is it work, how alcohol can work. So normally people bring alcohol. So normal national team in average international program brings approximately 2 bottles of strong alcohol and buy 1 more bottle here on the location. In some specific countries, people buy and bring much more alcohol. For example, in Moldova, participants Really happy to see so cheap, strong alcohol, especially participants from Northern Europe, guys, buys. So if you're from Finland, Norway, Sweden, you are in a group of risk because strong alcohol in your country is expensive. Okay, as far as I know, I checked just several times in your countries and other countries, and I have seen people from your countries. Yeah? I'm not talking about everybody, maybe not about you personally. Maybe if you are from Finland or Norway or Sweden or Denmark, I'm not talking about you personally. I don't know you. It's like, I don't know what is going in your head, but just from my experience, the majority of people from such countries coming to, for example, Moldova, gets crazy and start buy, adult people, buy and drink a lot of local, cheap, strong alcohol. So please be careful with that. As a just participant, be careful with your health, with your body. And as an organizer, be careful with the consequences. Because one bottle of strong alcohol per person in the night, it means that person can start working not earlier than 12 o'clock next day. Horrible hangover. Yeah, think about it. One more important thing is the area of noise. Sometimes, and it's not so bad, and I think it's good, people start partying. Maybe not only drinking a lot, but dancing, screaming, playing some games, card games, playing active games, dancing like disco or learning some dances and so on, till 2 o'clock. And if the living blocks are really near that place, people who try to go to sleep can be really disappointed of this noise. So I recommend you to think about the rules. What exactly, for example, you can provide the rule like to have a silent time from 22 o'clock till 7 o'clock in the morning. Yes, at 7 o'clock you can produce a lot of noise sometimes. Yeah, like, just an example. Yes. Think about those rules, present those rules. So some, you see, in this contract, some rules can be determined by organizers, like by you. So we are not going close to the Transnistrian region border because there are some military forces in the Transnistrian region and never cross this border. You might be not aware of crossing this border, so never come to the direction of Transnistria. If you're in Moldova, close to Transnistrian region. This rule dedicated by safety and by organizers. But for example, rule 2, respect each other, or rule 2, for example, clap if they laugh, like any sentence, like the statement, can be developed by themselves. So the rules can be 2 types of rules. Yeah? So think about such complicated cases. Do we have insurance while traveling? Always needed. Safety and underage participant are also important aspect to look at while preparing. Thank you very much. Yeah, so travel insurance, as expensive as possible, so make your participant to buy more expensive travel insurance. I know some cases, guys, yeah, when I participated in events and I needed to open a visa, so there were some insurance, necessary medical insurance needed to open a visa. Like you need to bring the copy of your insurance policy to the embassy to make the embassy open the visa for you. And sometimes people bought those insurance just for 2 days, so 3 days long, like the duration of this policy is only 2 or 3 days, just to be able to get a visa. And then they spend like 2-3 weeks in the location. If something happens, local medical service will help that person 2 days, not more than 2 days, and possibly the person need 2 or 3 weeks of intensive therapy. No more money for that. The person have to go as fast as possible and have to be brought to his or her own country. Huge expenses, additional expenses. Who will pay for that? I don't know. If nobody pays, the person can, sorry for saying that, die. Nobody wants such responsibility, guys. So thank you very much, Ira, for this reminder. Good. Rules. What do we have else? Are you okay, guys? What do you feel? I see there are 16 people of us here in the chat. Do you still alive? How are you? Please put pluses if you are not sleeping. Just plus if you're not sleeping right now, please. Kindly, if you just hear my voice, just go to your keyboard. There's a set of keys a little bit below my face on your screen. Yeah, thank you very much. So somebody, yes, Rafael is here. Thank you. Great. So please put your pluses. Let me know that you're still alive, that you're here, that you're with us. Travel, dinner out, travelers, food. Okay, dinner out. Guys, when you have your course, remember, it's normal that people get tired of one another, tired of faces of one another, tired of being close. Okay, thank you for your pluses. Please continue putting pluses in the case if you're awake. How about break? Okay. You need a break. Good. Guys, let's make it. I also think I need a break. So let's make a break right now. So yeah, stop talking. 3 minutes break. Dear Molly, is it enough for you? 3 minutes break? Let's make 3 minutes break, and I highly recommend everybody to make some stretching exercises to warm up your body, to move something, to run, or to make squats or push-ups, or at least anything to wake up your body, because it is better for your body, for your health. Yes, I wish it for your health. So not to sit more than 40, 30, okay, normally 20. It's better not to sit without movement more than 20 minutes. So as far as I see, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 pluses. So 16 participants, but only 8 put pluses. If there is somebody who still hear my voice, please do. And we already have our 3 minutes break. Let's go and stop talking. Stop talking, Alex. Okay, that's okay. See you in 3 minutes. Oh, 2 more pluses. Thank you guys for your pluses. Good. I hope 3 minutes passed and we can continue. I lost the point. What did we do? What did we tell about? Insurance, rules, dinner out. Yes, I started about dinner out. It is normal that people get tired of one another. So technically, this is again problem of your trainer to develop lead trainer to develop the program, good program. And if the trainer not so experienced, recommend the trainer to provide 1 day with free time, at least 1 day. So I highly recommend after every 2 days have a specific, approximately half day slot with free time. And one of good ideas is to provide so-called dinner out. So half of day you go outside to the local city, town, any sightseeing, any attraction, tourist attraction. You have possibly any excursion, any guided tour here, and learn something about the country. It really might be really interesting. In good cases, you even have this kind of bus tour around with visiting, with discussing, and so on and so forth. And really great idea to have then a dinner into the restaurant, like a local restaurant. So another way of organizing, another interior, another people, and so on. Thank you. And finally, free or just half of day of free time. So just go away and spend this day outside. No dinner for you provided. I mean, I'm talking it in kind of joking and cruel manner, so it's better not to tell this way, but just to provide a free time. Of course, it's a great idea, for example, to provide any food if it's better not to force people to buy food for their own money, because they not use. So normally, if you provide food for all the days, so at least, for example, any snacks, any like sandwiches or anything that can take away some takeaway food for themselves, if they like, maybe for some who come back at the lunchtime, you provide the lunch here on the location like normal, but maybe not for all the group, but for part of group. In that case, you need to have a list who is coming back and for whom the dinner should be provided. But dinner out, like guided tour, really good idea to organize a kind of city game, to run through the city, like to make pictures with some sightseeings, to put those sightseeings in these pictures into social medias with specific hashtags. It will help your project to be visible. So like 10 or 20 people will post pictures with the hashtag, with the project, the name of your project into social media, and everybody of people who check it, how good was your project, can find those pictures. Yeah, it was like people were happy, they were running the city, making pictures and so on. Good, do it. Especially organizing of city games is like not so complicated. There are some digital tools like online applications that can provide you with possibility to organize city game in a really easy way. So all you need is your smartphone. All your participants need are their smartphones, and on their smartphones you can post specific points and type the description of tasks for specific points, like they need to discuss something. And of course, if you're a good trainer, you can combine the city game with your educational activities, like your topic. They can run and stop at some locations and discuss some specific topics and put some specific like answers, some specific results, summaries again to the to blogs, to social media with specific hashtags. Good? Clear enough? Any questions? So organize any kind of free time or dinner out. 2 days of activity on the venue, at least 1 day of at least half of day free out. Sometimes people ask, and sometimes you can agree to provide them full free day. It also can work. But like, I'm not a big fan of this. I mean, I was a big fan when I was just a participant, so it's a great possibility for me to hitchhike to next mountain, to have a great, interesting local experience. It was actually in the north of Italy once. Ricoaro Terme, somewhere close to Vicenza. Possibly you know this place. If somebody knows this place, please put any like something like perfecto word into this chat. Thank you very much. So yeah, it was my just experience. I was young. I participated in the event, and it was they organized full day, full empty day. Yeah, it was good day for me. But me as a trainer, as organizer, I'm not a big fan, because like this day is necessary when you have approximately 2 weeks long, 2-week long course. So they have 1 week of working with one another and 1 more week. So 1 full day to rest is like worth doing. But if you have only just 10 days, half of day is normally pretty enough, but like from time to time. Or it can be again just guided tours to somewhere, but some time, free time, when no group work, just go away, everybody, spend your time by, explore the city. So great possibility. Be careful with that. In some cases, you can allow people to stay for night discos, and they can do that, so they can come back early in the morning really tired. How good is it for your like learning outcomes, learning results? It is a big question to the trainer. So I recommend to discuss the situation with your lead trainer of your course. How can the trainer deal with tired people in the morning? That's it. Dinner out. Any questions from my side, from your side, guys? Dinner out, travelers, food. Well, yeah, I told almost everything about food. Just to mention, make sure again that the food is good enough, because I had a case when we were fed with kind of rotten bread with those fungus on the bread, and all the group was so pissed off, and the organizers were like look so sad and so disappointed and so shocked, and they tried to do something with that. But yeah, it wasn't the wasn't the mistake of organizers. It actually was mistake of organizers. They didn't watch the work of cooks, and the cooks were like people who prefer to like put useless rotten bread and save some money on buying new fresh bread. So instead of wasting food, yeah, it happens. And one more time, yes, I found also fungus in the milk, just milk in a glass of milk. In, oh my god, it was Russia. Sorry, but it was Russia. Yeah, and first case was unfortunately in Latvia. Yeah, sorry. So, but it can happen everywhere. Yeah, technically, it can happen everywhere. Action Bond is a good application for city games. Thank you very much, Labolos. And could you please kindly copy this your post or put the name of this application in our Facebook group to the like as a comment to the post about tools and like about tools, about tips for paperwork and for organizers. Thank you very much, Labolos. And please, guys, everybody of you, if you know any tools, any like ideas, what to put there, please go to our Facebook group and like recommend and give short explanation. What is it and how to, maybe not how to use it, we can deal it by ourselves, but what is it for? Good. So this is done. This is done. A little bit about travelers, possibly. Be careful. There are people like vampires who suck the blood of youth exchanges and training courses. We call them youth exchange or training course travelers. There are people who just can write a perfect applications to different international training courses. They have an interesting background. They put all these perfect applications to different like courses. They accept it. They come. They spent a really great time, like 2 weeks, I don't know, in Luxembourg, in Switzerland, and I don't know, in London, in the bank of Mediterranean Sea, in Italy, or yes, or Spain, with great food, with great people. They enjoy, they entertain themselves, they explore every like sightseeing and attractions. They make pictures. They come back home, and the only thing they do is they write the next application. So they spend their time just traveling. Sometimes you can ask people, how many courses did you participate? Oh, 60. Wow, such a lot. And what do you do between those courses? Do you do at least anything between those courses? Not always. So it depends, guys. Yes, it doesn't mean that person who participated in many courses, like one of those travelers. So I don't know. No, but you as organizers, be careful with travelers. If you see that the application is really good, try to explore the Facebook page of that person. Maybe you can see that the person, the only thing that person do in youth work is just visit the youth work events of Erasmus Plus, because the application of that person is so good. Possibly that application, that person has some specific like abilities or specific, again, disadvantages to like be more desirable, like to make the groups more diverse, like people with like nuances of vision, people with nuances of mobility, people with nuances of gender orientation, or some other nuances. Yeah, I don't know, but make sure. Just I recommend. Okay, it's not from the point of actually of your. The success of your event, because such travelers, they're really good for your event because they're great communicators. They like provide good games from their side. They really push also the dynamic of your group, because they want to stay in this group. They want to come again because they like to travel. Yeah, it's okay. It's normal. I mean, those people is useful even, and you are welcome to invite one of those people, even if you see that this person is typical youth work traveler. You're welcome to invite that person to participate in your group, because usually such people prefer to give at least any contribution, and they bring this contribution to the group by dynamic, by like stories, by international experience, like by chatting with people, by entertaining and engaging. And you as an organizer, as a trainer, you can use those people as like your decoy ducks, or like people who you ask to support like your ideas during working with groups. So you say something, the group start to like I don't know, doubt that it is reasonable, and that person says, no, it's a great idea, trainers is correct, is right, because those people like to travel, like the trainers to love them, so it's okay. But on the other hand, for the usability for the usage, for the implementation, for the utilization of the information you provide at your course, those people are not so good, because they come back home, they will not just implement it in the locations, they will just continue writing new applications to new training courses later. We have any kind of reactions from your side? So yeah, the things that I'm talking, like, it's kind of food is what attract and refreshes one. Okay, yeah, good. So that's it. If you have any your own ideas about travelers, do you think it's good or bad? Could you please share into the chat? It's really interesting for me to learn about it. Good. I will check our plan. Food, rules, travelers, dinner out. So yeah, first line is done. Presentation of the organization, intercultural evening, coronavirus. And how much time do we have? We have, okay, only 20 minutes, so really brief. It is normal that within the course you have a specific time to present your organization or present your country at the intercultural evening. I already talked a bit about it. So bring some food. Please think about how unique is food, is the food you bring. Also think about how popular is it, because yeah, so I see a lot of times when people from mostly Belarus, Ukraine, and Russia bringing just bread and pieces of fat. I mean, like other names of this fat. What are they? Sala, of course, and sala, fat. Polish name. Oh my God, Polish name. Boczek. Yeah, the boczek. So, and after during the intercultural, everybody look at it. 5 people can taste it, but nobody else. So it stays for next day, for the day after that. It stays for a week in the fridge after the intercultural evening, so nobody need it. Make sure, so if you bring this fat, I recommend you to bring just a little bit, just to present. So doubtfully it will be eaten. Cheese is usually eaten almost completely. Sausages, yeah, okay. Well, interesting that the more unique the food you're going to bring, and the better this food represents the uniqueness of the country you represent, the less likely this food will be eaten. Possibly you heard about very traditional, very unique food from Iceland. This, okay, I will use some cruel word, rotten shark meat. Absolutely disgusting. Smells absolutely disgusting. I mean, for not locals. Yeah, I was able to eat and even swallow and even possibly digest the piece of this shark meat without vomiting. But it was really hard for me. And my wife preferred not to talk to me for 3 hours after that because of, smell from my mouth. Yeah, so I tried to brush my teeth, but didn't help. It's just my story. Be careful with food. So unique food is really great idea, but the quantities, think about quantities. So it can represent your country, it can represent your history, perfect. But don't feed all the table with that. I got tricked when I was totally drunk. Rotten shark meat, yes. Did you try it, Jan? Rotten shark meat ever? Icelandic food. Okay, like just you're welcome to answer. Good. But it's a great idea to bring some pieces. Make sure the food you bring has some piece of history, because if it's just like waffles in those plastic packs, it like sometimes doubtful for some people. Really great when you can find some stuff from villages, from rural areas of your place, even rural areas of very like high-tech places, and you can say that yes, this bottle was filled by my grandmother. She prepared this samagon or this vodka or this, I don't know, anything. Oh, Jan, yes, you know. Sheep's cool head cheese. Yeah, okay, yeah, so it's local, yeah, it's interesting. Swedish people also have rotten fish. Yeah, that's true. So be careful with the reaction and be careful with the quantity, but yeah, it's a great idea to bring musical instruments, dance, show, of course, and teach people, not just show, but teach people dance. Choose a simple dance and teach them how to dance it. Make them dance your dance. Remember, it is not always allowed to cook something. So if you plan to bring like potato, some like sour cream, and to prepare a perfect cepelini or cepelinas, something like that. Sorry, maybe I pronounce the name is not correct way. It's Lithuanian one. Possibly you just have no possibility to cook, so you will just throw away this potato. So it's better to bring something that already prepared, already cooked, or find your own way to cook it, to prepare it. I suggest local honey or wine. Perfect, yeah. So meat products go slowly. Sweets goes really fast. Think about like chocolate, if you wanted to bring chocolate. Do you think it can be considered as true, like if like northern countries bring chocolate, like really local Swedish cacao beans? No, but on the other hand, Belgium, as far as I know, has a huge tradition of chocolate because Belgium owned a huge, like during the colonial time, of course, owned huge plantations of cacao beans. But okay, intercultural evening, that's mostly done. What else? Presentation of the organization, I told about it mostly, the coronavirus. Yeah, guys, the last point, and we go to the finalization of our session today. Coronavirus, it changes a lot. It changed and continue to change a lot. It changed those events. So I highly recommend you to follow specific recommendations from the point of view of coronavirus. Keep the chairs 2 meters away from one another. I mean, chairs for your participants. For that case, you need a really big room for your participant normally. So much bigger than you planned possibly to have. Like for 20 participants, you need room at least approximately 10 to 10 meters. Prepare everywhere bottles with any kind of disinfection liquid. If you can, put it into the budget, prepare some kind of masks. Maybe nobody will use it because people hate it. Yes, people tired of coronavirus, of this quarantine thing. Please put everywhere the reminders. Put those bottles with this liquid, disinfection liquid everywhere. Antiseptic liquid. Yeah. What else? Prepare a lot of paper napkins or something like that. Read some other recommendations. Ask people. Big problem for trainers, for the ones who organize activity, for facilitators. Remove all possible name games or energizer. I mean, not of course, it's almost impossible to remove it, but it is possible to reduce the amount of name games or energizers, ice-breaking games, team-building games where people touch one another or touch their faces. Make your best to remove it from your activity. Find another ones, because yes, there are great games, great activities where you don't need to touch other people, where you don't need to touch your faces. And the most important thing, yeah, good. Oh yes, we already told. Thank you very much to Ira, possibly, who posted it. A really good health insurance cards, health insurance policies. If there is a case of coronavirus, to make local government put that person for 2 weeks into the hospital, at least 2 weeks, with a good, very expensive this ventilation system, and possibly send that person as fast as possible to home. Yeah, that's it. Do we have any? Yep. Swedish people. Yep. I suggest local honey or wine. Yeah. So no more comments, guys. That's it. So yeah, this session was like much better than session on Wednesday. Thank you very much. So we finally found pretty good connection. I found a good connection here. So the problem is I'm out of Warsaw now. I'm just within the event. So right now you can hear this voices of like my colleagues from the event, the participants who like come back from actually city game, and now I found some time to provide this session for you. And by the way, next week I also will take part in another event too. So like I will just pulled out from this from activities, and yes, I'm here to provide this session for you. And next week also I'll be within this activity. I told you that next week we have our great, amazing external trainer with an absolutely fabulous presentation. But yeah, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for your active participation into the chat. Please give me your feedback. How was it? The content. I understand that the connection was much worse than previously. Yes, you don't need to tell it. I see, unfortunately, this is the best I can provide you with for now. But what about content? How useful was it for you? Was there anything new, or you just recalled everything you already know? Please let me know your feedback. Let me know your reflection. How can you implement this information I shared with you today and our colleagues shared with us today in the chat? How can you implement it into your life? What exactly was the most useful? What exactly was what can you utilize the best? Could you please give me your input about that? I'm listening. I mean, not listening. I'm reading. Thank you, Jan, very much. Please, guys, yeah, share. Of course, you need a time to type it and send it, and then there is a gap of time for me. It was good. Thank you. Yep. Thank you very much. Hey.
Oh, you have
yes, it's a final minutes of my course, so you're absolutely welcome to do anything you wish, so no problems. I just will stay for 5 to 10 minutes in front of the computer and go over. But you're absolutely welcome to do whatever you wish.
Okay.
Yeah, our participants are. Yep. I got great ideas how to improve my project from Jan. Thank you very much for this feedback. Yeah, I really didn't expect such a result, so thank you. Great. I need time to understand very well this information because it's a lot, but I'd like it very much from Rafael. Good, thank you very much. Magdalena, Eva, thank it was very useful. Thank you very much. Great. Nice to hear that. Nice to hear. I didn't expect that it was so. It was interesting. And just while you're typing, guys, your feedback, just to remind, yes, we have our normal next session next week on Wednesday at 5 o'clock as usual. It looks like everything will be perfect. What else? Yes, you will get the link in the course plan document really soon. I mean, not really soon, approximately on Sunday, Monday. And you will get also on Sunday morning, you will get this link in a separated post in our Facebook group. As usually, I'm really interested in your questions, in your inputs. What would you like to learn about, and so on. So now you know a lot already. Of course, we have our topics for each session, but please let me know what you consider more interesting, more valuable, based on the information you already got. It was very useful to mention from the key specific points such as visa, travel, etc. Thanks. Thank you very much, Bushra. Yeah, it's like pain in the ass sometimes for some organizers. So I highly recommend you never try to get the experience I got in my life, like that connected with all those visas, documentation, and the travels. That's all. So it's so painful to have these adventures, and it is. Sometimes, of course, it's great to tell after that, like when it's over, it's really great to say, okay, it was our adventures. It was, but during that, it's pain in the ass. Absolutely. Can make a good topics and share to others, making myself ready. Wow. Thank you very much, Molly. It would be really great and appreciated. You're absolutely welcome to keep in touch in Facebook and put it as separated post, like to attach your PPT document, like PowerPoint document, to our Facebook group. Thank you, guys. So looks like we have all the comments. I wish you a great Friday. I wish you an amazing weekend. Like, make fun. It's the middle of the summer. By the way, here in the very south of Poland, very close to mountains, there are not mountains, but a lot of trees on the other side of the window, so you can see what I see behind my window. So there is a beautiful, very beautiful weather now in Warsaw. I wish you great time. I wish you perfect project. I wish you a lot of new information and as few problems and adventures during the preparation of your project as possible, much fewer than I had in my life. Thank you, love you, all the best. We are finishing our call right now. I would be interested and useful for a live Q&A session on Zoom, a bit opportunity for interaction. Dynamite, thank you very much. I will put your comment to our Facebook group to remember about it. And please, guys, put like if you think it's worth doing. And yeah, I'm expecting the possibility to make this like live connection with your voices, with everything. A lot of interesting stuff you shared with us today. Once again, I thank you. Thank you very much, Aura. Great. I really glad to know that it was interesting and useful for you. So guys, you're absolutely welcome to leave this call. I will leave this this broadcast in approximately 1 minute. I will just put this comment to the Facebook group, as usually as a comment to the link to the session. Yeah, that's done. Well, yeah, so we have our cheat sheet. Well, guys, I'm going to stop the translation. Very useful. I especially like the tips for creating the course program, Dorish. Thank you. Thank you. Really happy that it was useful for you. I did my best and I'm promising to do my best till the end of this course, of course, because I'm here for you guys. See you next time. I'm finalizing the broadcasting. Love you all. See you next time. Bye.